A very good morning to you. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It is a midweek. It means that the weekend is almost here. So, if it's Wednesday, on Life and Style, it's all about relationships, and we are all in relationships. Today, we will talk about a few things. We have our forgiveness segment. It's called Mr. Meher, and we'll be talking about deep issues that people try and find forgiveness. Does it matter if the other person does not forgive you? Is it okay to forgive someone who hurt you even before you ask them to forgive you? We will have mandate, and on Monday today, we have a very interesting question. Is it possible to find love again as a single parent? And we have Pastor Chris to help us with that. Pastor Chris, are you ready for that?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's very interesting to just talk about a single parenthood and them going back to that again, because the fact that they're single parents means that they have been in one form of relationship or the other.
Yeah.
So we want to delve into it to find out, is it easy, is it hard, is it possible?
Are you even acceptable to the
Yeah.
people that are looking to date again?
And you see, to find out that, I've got to ask single parents.
Absolutely.
I have together with me today two gentlemen and one lady on the segment of Mandate of Life and Style Relationship Wednesday, who are going to help us just open up this, what are their experiences? And we would like to know also from you back at home, because our Twitter handle is at KTN Life_style, and that's our contact also on Instagram at KTN Life_style, and on Facebook, KTN Life and Style. The text messages, 22840. Is it possible to find love again for a single parent? I have with me Tony Mwangi and Virginia. She's called Naaman Jerry, and with Vincent Omondi. The question that we are asking today, is it possible to find love again after having a baby or children somewhere? I'll take the lady first.
Thank you, Pastor Chris. Thank you for having me. I believe it is possible to find love again as a single parent.
Right?
Yes,
You believe it is?
it is possible.
Okay.
Yes.
Tony,
Yes, sir.
is it possible to find love again?
I believe it is possible. We are all human beings. That's one thing I do believe. And above all things, no one is perfect. Each and every one of us along the way has made mistakes. And I think it tends to be wrong when society decides to, crucify you on the cross because of one small thing that you did. Yes, you are responsible for bringing in a new life into this world. But then again, life does move on, and I believe acceptance is real. Acceptance, is possible. So for me, I believe it is.
Vincent, your thought, is it possible?
Yeah, it is very possible to start such kind of life again. I really believe it's very possible. You see, human beings are social beings, and being social beings, you need to socialize, and being in a relationship is a form of socialization. Having been created that way, at certain stage, every individual, a mature adult, feels like should have a companion at any given moment. Whatever what is happen future, the feeling will just drive you to
want to do
have,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, but by virtue of being single parents, that means that you have been in a form of relationship before, in one way or the other.
Yes.
You want to talk about that, Tony?
Yes, I think first and foremost, just to be clear, I have a 2-year-old son called Sean. Love that boy to death. Yeah, I mean, total photocopy of me and all. And
Is that why you love him? Because he's the photocopy?
yes, indeed. Yeah, that's one bit. I think when you have people walking around and just tell you, I saw someone who looks like you, and I'm like, yes, yeah, I do know there's someone out there who looks like me, and I know, yeah, that's my flesh and blood. Sean's mom and I were dating about 4 years ago. And of course, the normal strives in a relationship, I mean, the normal struggles, fighting and whatnot arose. And I think by the time we were drifting apart, now Sean already came into the picture. So of course now the work has been to manage the two.
Yeah.
He's not in my custody currently, but I mean he's with his mother. But I make a point of being in his life, and I think for me that comes with a lot of things.
Is that easy, Nema, to go separate ways and still find a way to keep contact over the baby?
For me, in all honesty, I feel at some point it has its own complications, especially like in my particular case. I have done that for several years. My son is 8 years old, he's William. And I realized the moment I keep on allowing them to have contact, at some point it's frustrating him, emotional factors also, not to mention that it has also messed his academic life.
All right.
Because he automatically switches off, especially when there's that constant, today you're here, tomorrow you're there. So for me, I feel it's not something that I would love to indulge.
It's not something you'd want to
No
do.
way.
Do you share the same experience?
No, not really. I would prefer to just, at this level, okay, I'm a father of 4.
You're a father of 4.
Yeah, my firstborn is at the campus doing some medicine. My lastborn is in class 7. And but my main worry, actually it's fear, was these kids, if I bring another woman in the house, I know some women are not that friendly. They can't take that motherhood like their mother could have done.
So in your case where you have 4 children, he was dating. Were you dating or married?
I was married.
You were married, in quotes. That means it was a complicated situation. But in your case, you have 4 children, so you probably was married.
I was married, yeah.
Okay. And so now the difficulty is to find somebody that is compatible.
Yeah, to find somebody especially to the side of the children, because I don't want my children to feel like the home is not theirs.
You know, and you're leading me to something that I need to ask. So are you being held back? Do you feel guilty when you feel like you need to relate? You have these children. Do you feel guilty that maybe they will think you're not loyal to their mother or to the
No,
person?
not at all.
You don't feel guilty?
I don't feel guilty. Not at all.
But they're a consideration.
They are considerations, yeah.
They're a consideration. Your children are the first one is quite grown.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't that be easy for you to just move on if the first one is...
Still have young ones.
You still have young ones?
Yeah.
How old is the youngest again?
Class 7, class 8, that's 12 and 13.
That's 12 and 13?
Yeah.
All right. Is there a way, Nema, that you can get the children to understand that you need to move on?
Well, I think in my case, I must say I'm lucky somehow. Because just recently, my 8-year-old, actually on Thursday, he happened to ask me, Mom, do you have a boyfriend? I think it's...
Does your 8-year-old understand what a boyfriend is?
He's just looking out for the mama and wondering what's not happening. Mama should be having someone. And well, I told him, of course, I'm still waiting on God. But I think it depends. If they don't... you can easily talk to them slowly. The truth is, it's not something that will happen instantly. Because I remember there's a time I was in a relationship back then, and the person who came in my life was a bit strict with him. And every time he will come in the house, my son will just go behind the sofas. So you see, I think it's very important, even as a parent, to pick up signals. And with time, I talked to, of course, that person, and we were able to sort that one out.
I'll come to you, Tony, but I need to stick right here because Sean is 2 years old, so he doesn't
really
know anything.
Much. Yeah.
Doesn't know who comes in and who doesn't come in.
Yeah.
But could it be possible that then the children are holding you from going forward when you meet new people, because you're very careful about how they relate with the children?
Let me talk something about that. Not really that they are holding. Not by holding, I understand it. You mean by the consent.
No, not really a consent. Just that your mind is on the children. Like Naima says, you know, she tried to relate with somebody and then she would see this person is strict with the child. and you are worried that somebody might come in and you do not know how they will relate to the
Exactly.
children.
Actually.
So in a way, don't you feel that the children then hold you back from pursuing a relationship that if the children were not there, some things would not be a point of consideration?
Actually, that's true, yeah.
They
Because
do?
you have to consider they're part and parcel of you. And you cannot just let them go astray. Like in her case, where the boy, he says the boy goes the other way, and she noticed and changed. You see, especially mine are girls, eh? And girls are
They're
very
girls?
delicate. And you know, any slight thing, they pick it. And
That's an interesting one.
just 1 minute action by the parent can change their thinking and personality, and even they become more sensitive.
Tony, don't you think then, because there's a general perception somehow with people that when you get into a relationship with a single person who does not have a child, you're beginning a relationship or a dating, but when you have a single parent, you are getting into a family. And just listening to Vincent and Naema, they seem to cement that thought that there's more factors to be considered than just that. Is that an issue for you?
I wouldn't really say it's an issue. What I do know is this: if it's the woman who's coming into my life, she needs to know that she's coming in to get a package, and I'm coming in as a package. I mean, because I have a son, so either you're taking me and my son, or you're not taking anything.
In what order of priority? Is she coming in? Is she coming in as subservient to this package, or can this package be broken so that the woman comes in between?
I think I'll go with
Emma wants to say something. She just read it.
No, I don't want to talk about breaking a package and whatnot, because as I've started off by saying, Sean is my flesh and blood. I'm bonded with him. He's my everything, and for me, it's just to be there for him. And of course, I can't decide to put him on the side simply because she has come into the picture. What I would rather is that she comes in as a core partner, in helping me to raise him up.
So at that particular point,
Yes.
do you realize that you won't really be dating? You will already, you're recruiting a mother. In a sense, you're trying to recruit a mother. And so this woman coming in
Yes.
is coming in into a cutout role immediately. Don't you think that would make somebody consider dating a single parent? Go ahead, you want to say something?
Okay, let's see what Emma said.
Well, from my own experience, what I learned during that time is dating is dating at the end of the day, whether there's a kid or there's no kids. My way of doing things will be this. I'll be understanding of the other partner. I'm a mother. They are already not a mother, or in this case, they are not a father. They don't know the experience. So I can only be sensitive enough to give them time to learn and adjust to become a father. Otherwise, if you come with the expectation, they have to fit that role, then I'm so sure we are not going to get married.
But what in the case like now, you've got your son, he's growing up.
Yes.
Interesting, like with Vincent, he's got daughters, and you see sons tend to be close to their mothers.
Yes.
Daughters tend to be close to their fathers. So you're raising a boy, and another man is coming into the picture. Don't you think they're fighting for space, and that makes it different from a case where there's no child?
Yeah, I think you're right. But if you can get to
Balance?
Hallelujah, if you can get to balance.
Who does the balancing? Is it you? Is it the other person?
Yeah, it's me, but I think because my husband in that particular case is also an adult, and like my kid, we are able to reason at a adult level.
Vincent, okay, you want to take a lady out and you're thinking about your daughters at home. You want to spend money on this lady. You've got these 4 daughters also who are looking for your attention. How do you balance that?
I always give them a thought, my girls. Whenever I go out, I know there are goodies there. And
What do you mean by goody-goody?
Of course, you're going to eat some, if it's taking her out, going to take some good food stuff outside. So I can only do that, my consciousness will tell me, I can only do that when I have enough cash to do the same to my daughters at home. So after this, I have to entertain them as well so that I don't feel that I'm having that kind of refreshment alone. Another thing is, you see, the kind of dating that is there is quite different from somebody who's, the type of dating that I always think I should have is quite different from somebody who doesn't have, both cases where both do not have children. Because my main issue is, will this person, will this lady be able to go well with my girls?
But, and I still need to come around that because as much as all of you are telling me it's not an issue, I keep on feeling that it is such a huge issue that you're coming in with a package. And I want you to put yourself where the other person is in their position. So they're coming in, they want to know you. They want to know you as Vincent. And then you have somebody else in your life, whether it is one child or two. And you're already going to make judgment about them based on how they relate with somebody other than you. Don't you think that that is unfair? As you may be having a very good relationship with them, but maybe your daughters are feeling, I'm losing my daddy. And so they create their own friction. Children can throw tantrums. And so you're losing a good person because of how the children are reacting. How do you find that balance so that you're not caught up in the past?
I think, actually, I won't dwell on that balance issue. I'll tell you this. It depends on what led to you being a single parent. One, that one matters a lot. Two,
So in this case, yourself, what led to you being a single parent?
we just separated, and wherever she went, she passed on.
Oh,
Yeah. So actually, they all know that their mother is no more. And my daughters, with my experience, the way I see them, they are much worried that they being alone. They always tell me, Daddy, tunaenda shule, especially the second last born, Daddy, tunaenda shule, who will be cooking for you?
how old is that one?
She's 13.
She's 13.
Who will be cooking for you? Who will be maintaining the cleanliness of the house? And I tell them, I can do everything by myself. No, but how come you don't do it when you're here?
You know, there is and just interacting with different people. I know that I was talking to a gentleman who was looking for a wife, and the lady was very interested. So they would go out on dates, but then he kept on mentioning he had a child, and so he kept on mentioning the child so much that the lady felt that she was not part of this person's life. Do you think that sometimes, in the fear of having somebody who comes in and doesn't relate with your child well, you may be pushing out somebody? Now, not just because of what the child thinks, but your own fears. Or you're dating somebody, but you keep on talking about your past. Don't you think that sometimes can be a factor that makes people feel like I'm not going to be where I need to be in this person's life? Tony?
100%, I agree. It is going to be a factor, and you're going to end up pushing someone away. I think basically my advice would be before someone actually gets back into that field, I think there needs to be some critical self-examination. I mean, are you totally over the past? Because when you keep holding yourself too much onto the past, I mean, it definitely prevents you from moving on into the future. Some of those cues I know people don't find it easy to easily pick out that they're actually doing it. When you're talking so much about your child, I'm talking about my child, I'm talking about my child, that, you know, all I can ever think about you and I see you calling me just your child. It's a bit of a brain drain. So for me, I would say take a critical examination about yourself.
I'm coming to you, Nema, but our question today, if you're back at home, our question today is it possible to find love again for a single parent? You need to hit us on Twitter at KTN_Life_style. The hashtag is KTN Life and Style. The same on Instagram and on Facebook, KTN Life and Style. 22840 is our text message. You can also find me, follow me on Twitter at CJ Atemo and on Facebook, Chris J. Atemo. I was going to come to you because I needed to know at what point should you reveal in a relationship. If you see somebody who's interested in you, you're a lady. With this gentleman, they're the ones who I assume pursue, but you're a lady. So somebody sitting over here, I can't tell that you've got a baby. So
Yes.
somebody pursues you and you can see their interest. At what point do you think that you need to bring up the issue that you have a baby?
In my case, I don't think I'll do that in the first few stages unless I see some serious commitments. Because if I'm going to be doing that and maybe they walk away because they had a kid, I have a kid, I wonder how many people have already been telling I have a kid, which is actually not an issue though. But I think I'll only do that when I see some level of serious commitment. Because at that time when they are showing their commitment, definitely they don't want you to be hiding also anything, because that can also.
And there's something I stumbled on. It was an article in one of the dailies
Okay.
where they're talking about most people think that single mothers are easy prey. Have you encountered that where when somebody gets to know that you're a single mother, then they think that so you are needy, so they come on you because they feel you're a single mother, so you've got some burden that they need to lift?
Actually, unfortunately, that's their perception, but not really in an aspect of neediness. I think they see you as loose. The way they will treat you and the way they'll treat somebody else who doesn't have a kid, they think you're easy prey. They don't understand why you had a kid and why you're single. And it's so, unfortunately, it's happening all over. That is in our secular world and also maybe in the church or wherever.
So people think that...
People think you're easy prey, and it hurts a lot, unfortunately.
Mwikali, do you think it is possible to find love again?
I think it is. It is very possible. We've seen it happen. But then the society sometimes does not let us be. My best friend is a single mom. So I'm just going to give you a very short story. She's at the office, having a good day. Then people start discussing a guy who used to work there. It's like, hey, alioa. Then a lady who's uko kando kwa simu now jumps into the story. She wasn't even part of the conversation. Imagine alioa mamako na mtoto, you know. So, and then there is my friend who's a single mom thinking, wow, is it a scene? You know, so sometimes the society, the way it looks at a single mom or a single dad, they judge us too harshly.
But I thought that people have moved on, a bit better than it was before. Before it was taboo.
Yeah.
I thought people have moved on. I didn't know that there's still those kind of stereotypes.
They're there. It's reduced, yes, but there are few elements that need to be changed.
So would you date a single parent?
I would.
You would?
Yes, I would.
It wouldn't be a problem?
Love conquers it all,
All right.
doesn't it?
Tony is here, and he matches your dress.
Tony, we'll have this conversation offset.
Most definitely.
All right?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we have probably your final thoughts on this before we wrap it up?
I think for me, mine would be to the society. Let's stop the stereotyping. Let's stop, crucifying people simply because they decide to have children out of wedlock or because of different circumstances and whatnot.
Neema?
Yeah.
Yeah, love conquers all. And yeah, as they said, stereotyping is not the way to go. We all human, and kids are always a blessing.
And to the single parents, Vincent, what would you say to them?
I'd say actually I would support, I would date again. I would date somebody who is a single parent, because you see, you want to
You
show
date a
that.
single parent?
Yeah, single parent.
Not somebody who has no child?
Okay, I would prefer a single parent mostly, because you see, you want to show love much, and there's that physical appearance. That the fact
he wants to date a single parent.
So are you talking about my friend now? I see what you're doing, Mr. Chris, but it's fine. Thank you so much.